Sociology 1.4 is going to ask you guys to start taking a look at different research methods. You guys are going to be held responsible for the major ways in which sociologists collect data and complete research and the process that they go through to do that. You guys will be working with the scientific method, something that you guys have probably been using in science class since elementary school. There's just a couple things that might be a little bit different, and that's really going to be here in the beginning. You guys know that you have to define the problem, decide what you're going to do, decide how you're going to study it, your hypothesis, and then complete the research. This part you guys are probably familiar with from science class. This review the literature is the one piece that I'm guessing you don't have a lot of experience with. And this is something you would do a lot more with in higher level sociology classes. It'll be something that we'll be kind of touching on throughout this class to get you guys familiar with it, but we won't complete a full research project, at least not in its entirety during this class. So you guys are looking at steps in the research process. Define the problem, review the literature, formulate your hypothesis, complete your research, analyze it, and then share it. Because really, what good does it do if it is just sitting in your computer? So the one piece that I'm thinking you guys don't have a lot of experience with, the review the literature, I just want to go over a couple tidbits, and this may feel like an English review. So first thing, we have an Abraham Lincoln quote. Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there is a picture with a quote next to it. Anybody see where this would be problematic? Did the internet exist when Abraham Lincoln was alive? Right? It didn't. It's not really a quote from him at all. I thought this might be helpful for you guys when you are looking at research, because before any sociologist completes their research, they look at what else is out there. When they're looking for those, they want to look for things that are relevant, appropriate, detailed, okay, current. They have some kind of authority, right? I can't write about astrophysics. I have no authority there. And then also to make sure they're looking for biases. All right, so a little acronym here. You guys probably have some you use in your English class, but RADCAB. So is the source relevant, appropriate, detailed, current? Does the author have some kind of authority? And be careful for author bias. In all of the different research methods, sociologists are looking to conduct research that proves causation. So they're looking to see that when this happens, it causes this. So to prove causation, correlation, and time order are established, and an alternate explanation has to be ruled out. So correlation is when things happen in conjunction with one another, okay, trying to look to make sure that when things are happening at the same time, that one is causing the other. Now, it is important to make sure that you are comfortable with correlation does not necessarily mean causation. The example in your textbook talks about an increase in violent offenses and at the same time an increase in ice cream rates. There might be correlation, but there's not causation. Okay, people buying ice cream is not causing them to go out and hurt other people. Or this cartoon here is another one. There might be correlation, but there is not causation. All right, increase in cancer rates is not increasing cell phone use. All right, all of the research methods, in order to be good, valid research, have to make sure they have these three things. So they have to be valid. It has to measure what it is intended to measure. It has to be reliable, so that if I conduct that research or if I conduct that same study again, I want to make sure I got the same results. And then I have to be able to generalize. Will the findings of this study apply to other groups of people? Maybe it's something, maybe maybe in order to have a pet in your house, they have to be under 50 pounds. So you get your pet and you bring it onto the scale in front of your landlord or your significant other and you weigh it, okay? And the dog weighs 40 pounds, no problem. They ask him to weigh again, 40 pounds, so on and so forth. That data is reliable. All right, but maybe your landlord doesn't know that at the bottom of the scale you messed with where was the zero. Okay, and so really that dog is like a 65-pound dog, but you set zero at like -15. So it's not valid. It didn't measure what it was intended to. Sometimes you're going to have these results with people because they want to portray a certain image of themselves. People might reliably tell you they would never beat their children, okay? But is that result valid because maybe there's a threat that they would have a punishment for it, okay? And then if you find it true to be, the case with women in Bourbonnais, is it the same with women in Chicago, okay? Is it generalizable? Is it something that can be applied to groups of people, around the area that you're studying or around the world? Right now, you guys are going to be held responsible then for reading about the different types of research and making sure that you're comfortable with what are some advantages and disadvantages and what are the best circumstances to use each type of research method.